So if you guys haven't heard, and I'm a little late to the party on this, Joel Schumacher sadly passed away of cancer in June 22nd. And I wanted to review one of his good movies in honor of his legacy. Also, yes, I have a haircut, but you can go to my TikTok to explain why I have this. But for now, let's talk about his best... Oh, shit, I am way underdressed for this. Hold on a second. Alright, let's review a classic vampire movie.
Michael and Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to discover its secret.
The Lost Boys was written and directed by Joel Schumacher, released in 1987, stars Jason Patric, Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Alex Winter, and Diane West. And it tells the story of a mother and her two sons who moved to Santa Carla, the greatest murder capital in the world. And as the older brother Michael gets roped in with a group of thrill-seeking rebels, the younger brother Sam gets roped in with the Frog Brothers, two outcasts who claim to be vampire hunters. Now, Joel Schumacher is a bit of a hit-or-miss director. He's made some great films like The Client and A Time to Kill, but he's also directed some movies that aren't so good, like Phantom of the Opera and Batman Forever, and let's not forget Batman and Robin, which pretty much ruined his career from like that day on. But even then, like, a ton of the greats have made their not so good features. Like Clint Eastwood made the 1517 to Paris, a movie that I hate. Is a boring piece of shit. I don't recommend any of you watch it. It's not good, like, at all. And Steven Spielberg made War of the Worlds, which, yeah, it had a good start, but then it just slowly just did not go well, had a horrible ending. It was, you get what I mean? Like, even great directors, even like biggest, like the best of the best, have made their not so good features. But if you couldn't tell from my intro earlier, this is definitely one of the greats. Where do I begin with picking out like the greatest parts of this movie? The acting. The acting, specifically from Kiefer Sutherland as David and Jason Patric as Michael, were really good. Like, everyone else did a great job, especially Corey Feldman. We'll get to him, but Corey Feldman as Edgar Frog, he was really good. But it's just with David and Michael, just their performances, they just really matched the best for me. Jason Patric as Michael really showed the complexity of his character, showing how his vampirism is driving himself away from his family, but also making him these new friends who aren't really his friends. They're just there to kind of use him and manipulate him, and you really see how conflicted he is with his vampirism versus his humanity. As for Kiefer Sutherland as David, what can I say? He's charming, he's funny, he's charismatic, he's a badass, and you do not want to be on his bad side because he gets pretty frightening when he's pissed. The soundtrack as well is on fucking point. The main Lost Boys theme, Cry Little Sister, that's amazing. People Are Strange, amazing, which is a cover, yes, of the Jim Morrison song, but it's still a phenomenal song and really fits the intro to this film, and it really sets the tone as well. And also, it kind of makes me want to visit Santa Carla and the boardwalk, not gonna lie. And speaking of 80s, this movie is 80s incarnate. This movie is so fucking 80s. I've never seen a movie this 80s since Turbo Kid. And Turbo Kid is not even an 80s movie. From the characters, the archetypes, the writing, the filming style, the hairstyles, the goth scene in the 80s, this has everything and just so enjoyable to watch because of how nostalgic it is. And this is coming from a Gen Zer. The comedy as well in this movie is, oh my god. Anytime there's a scene with the Frog Brothers, it is just so fun to watch, and you just can't take your eyes off of them. There's the dorky energy that these 16-year-old kids give off, claiming that they're like hardened, badass vampire killers. And the writing as well is so memorable, and there's so many lines I quote from the film, like, holy shit, it's the attack of Eddie Munster. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You know how how funny that line was. And the Lost Boys themselves are so fun to watch. Like from Bill S. Preston Esquire playing Marco, who pretty sure this is his only other role, to the aforementioned David, which I already went on about why he's awesome, to the character of Star, which I actually did kind of feel bad for the same way I felt bad for the character of Michael. And speaking of Michael and Star, their romance I did actually buy. I definitely bought that they had a thing for each other and that Star really wanted to save Michael. She didn't even want him to join the Lost Boys, but he did under circumstances and just him being an all-around idiot. And by far, the biggest praise I can definitely give the Lost Boys is the brotherly bond between Sam and Michael. You can definitely tell that these two are brothers and they do love each other, but you see Michael's new life as a vampire really starting to wear down their brotherly bond, and you really see how it kind of affects the relationship. But even then, you do still see that they do love each other very much, and they do fight through this new difference, this new thing that's starting to wear and tear at their bond. As for flaws, which I don't even know if I can call them flaws, there's a twist about who the lead vampire is, and I kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, like, I can still admire it because it is being cheesy. But at the same time, it's still something I wasn't a big fan of, and it started to wear on the movie for me. There's also a scene at a campfire that I wasn't a big fan of because of editing choices that were implemented into this scene. But all in all, these are just nitpicks. The Lost Boys is a phenomenal vampire film, a phenomenal 80s film, a phenomenal teen 80s film, and The Lost Boys gets an A. I love this movie. Yeah, it's not scary, and it doesn't really take itself seriously, but it's a comedy. And for a sweet 80s teen vampire romp, it's enjoyable as hell. Go watch The Lost Boys. You will not regret it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click down there to subscribe. Like this video if you'd like. And also, before I leave, I will be putting links to cancer research centers and donation centers in the description below, along with, link to my Twitch profile. But I really want to put more emphasis on the cancer research center links because I want to honor Joel Schumacher. Yes, he was the man who killed Batman, but he also gave us this masterpiece, and as well as many other movies. And plus, he was just an all-around great guy. So we should focus less on the disaster that was Batman and Robin, and more for the good things that he did, kind of like in honor of his legacy. So yeah, I will be putting those links in the description below, along with my Twitch link. I will be doing streams every Sunday. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!